Brothers and sisters and friends, this afternoon we want to talk about the ballot or the bullet. The ballot or the bullet explains itself. We have a fight that's common to all of us. We suffer political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation. Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging.
Hey. Good morning. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
My
name is Paul B. He's Buddy to God.
Yo.
Yeah, man. And it is Friday, May 2nd. It is first Friday today, so lots of activities going on today. We got a lot of haps we're going to jump into. But we appreciate everybody coming in early this morning. Leah Keister gives us a happy fry. Yip, yo, yay, yay, yip, yo, yay, yay, yo, yo, yay, 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 yip, yip. Almost had it to the last two yips.
Yeah. See, she started mixing it up on us, throwing some yos and some other things up in there.
You ain't slick. You trying to jam us up. Appreciate everybody that's joining us this morning. Michelle Moreno gives us a good morning, everyone. Mama God gives us a good morning, fam. Pop says good Friday morning and mad love from Las Vegas.
Hey,
appreciate you, Pops. Appreciate you. Yeah, we're gonna get going on the show today. We got a special guest. We were trying to have him on Wednesday. It looks like we're gonna be able to have him on today, man. Keives is gonna join us, and we're gonna talk a whole lot about the entertainment industry today, which I'm very, very much looking forward to. It is Friday. Friday's kind of a love supreme day for me. So it's always about the arts, especially on First Friday, where all the artistic things are going on. Especially now that we got a First Fridays down in the Village. Shout out to Empowerment Network. First Friday in the Village at 24th and Lake. Friday, October 3rd. Wait, this is for October. Okay, my bad. Man, I thought it was gonna be this Friday. All right. At least they're planning ahead. But there is a First Friday from BFF, our friends over at BFF, right here in the Benson district, where a lot of the art is being shown. The biggest First Friday that happens in Omaha is happening right here in Benson. So shout out to BFF Omaha, May 2nd. Today, Benson Creative District is going down tonight. Bring your umbrella. It's supposed to be a little rainy though. So we'll definitely be seeing what's going on there. But yeah, it is First Friday. It's kind of an artistic Friday. We get to talk to a special guest about his art. The ability to do art in Omaha that is relevant to the rest of the world. I don't know if you guys seen Sinners yet, but we got a brother from Omaha that actually worked on the film.
Man.
So we definitely gonna have to get ready and talk to him. Judy Prince is in the house. Good morning, fam. Good morning to you. Appreciate it very much. Thanks for everybody who's been putting stuff in Friends of First Sky Omaha. We've been going deep in Friends of. Lots of stuff to talk about today from just the Friends of page. So that goes without saying. But before we jump into these community updates, how you doing over there, buddy?
Man, I'm all right. Making sure that trying to make sure that the tech is teching and everything is all right for today's show. As y'all know how it goes sometimes. Yeah. I'm glad it's Friday, man. Feeling good. The sun is shining. Getting my plans together for this summer.
What's going on this summer for real?
Yeah, man. So looking forward to things shaping up. Getting ready, getting excited. Summertime. How you feeling, man?
Feeling okay, not too bad. Still on the upswing. Still a little under the weather. Still dealing with a little sinus infection and stuff like that. But getting better every day. So just grinding and working on it, getting on it.
Man, there you go.
We got lots of haps happening.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm sure Taco Friday get you right.
Right. We got lots of haps happening, and it's gonna be like this all through the summer, I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump in because we absolutely have tons of stuff going on. And yes, one of my favorite events is happening. Taco Fest is going on. This is today. I'm trying to get well enough to get down there 5 to 9. This is their Cinco de Mayo Taco Fest 2025. It's gonna be at 2624 Edward Babe Gomez Avenue. I haven't been on that street ever, so I'll go down there and check that out. But shout out to Taco Fest. All you can eat tacos. You see this, Pops? All you can eat tacos.
Man.
Yep, it's going down.
Speaking Paul's language.
Michelle Moreno says, I'm going Sunday to see it. That's what's up. Talking about Sinners. Right on. Kimber says, I can't seem to find y'all on YouTube today for some reason, but good morning. We got some people on YouTube talking to us. Marlon Harrison is talking to us from YouTube. Good morning, First Sky fam.
Peace.
Marlon Harrison. Yep. So might want to restart your YouTube and see if you can find you there. Shout out to you, Kimra. We pulled something from the old school minus old days. It was the task force, the COVID task force meeting that we broadcasted over there back in the day. So I posted it on Friends Up saying we've been doing this a long time, but it reminded me of all the efforts that you put in with that task force. And yeah, we all been doing this a little minute. Been doing this a little minute. So appreciate everybody that's been putting in the work and all that good stuff. Mama God said I could not either. I wonder what's going on with YouTube. Ariel's 402 says Edward Babe Go. Sean McCarthy says good morning. Pop says, man, I'll be there. Pop's gonna come out the house for them all you can eat tacos. That's what's up. Jumping back into it real quick, like I said, we are working on our special guest coming through, so I want to jump on real quick. But before we get to some haps, there's a couple things in the community I wanted to talk about. There's an update with that was put in here that China Bryant, who's been bonded out. This is the lady that got arrested for having the 7 kids in the car. It's currently in my office. I forgot who posted this. I'm sorry. I thought that I put this down. Let me see. I didn't put the name on it. Yeah, I definitely want to check this out. But she says, we found long-term housing and could use help with clothes, gas for the van to get to and from work. And where she will be staying requires her to provide her own food and hygiene, including laundry detergent. You can donate through Reconnect Facebook page at R2 Success, Reconnect Success at gmail.com. Says her mother is driving up from North Carolina to help. She will not be able to stay with her where she will be housed. So you can drop off gift cards, gas cards, clothing, and food at my office at 1941 South 42nd Street, Suite 502. We will provide a donation letter for your taxes. And then there's some stuff here about her sizes and some of the things that she might need. So shout out to our community. Again, I feel bad that I didn't grab that. I'm gonna try to grab that right now to see who
that was.
Mm-hmm.
That was Sister Stennis Williams and Raquel Henderson posted.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, shout out to this is what I'm talking about. It's our community. We were complaining that the sister got arrested for obviously being in a hard, tough situation. Got a lot of kids, and they got arrested for having those kids in the car like that. But actually needed a house. They needed a place to stay, and our community is the ones who stepped up and got her a place to stay. And so, go to Friends of First Sky Omaha where that message is at, and see if you can help out with that. And I appreciate everybody who has done so already. So that's what's up in a big way. Marlon Harrison said this off and on rain all week makes me want to stay in bed. I heard that, bro. Definitely makes me want to stay in bed as well. This is going to be rainy today, so watch out for that. Ariel's 402 says Mez is a Vietnam Purple Heart recipient from South Omaha. Okay, who you talking about? All right, we'll have to get back to that. Kimber says, I just don't get on social media every time I do something. Yeah, I hear that. Mama God says, I see you now. First Guy took a couple times to reset on YouTube. Okay, I appreciate you, the message there on that. Moving along with the haps happening, Vince Furlong, who is a brother who's been doing the good work. He's working with documenters right now. He says, this is Vince from Nebraska, No Labels. I'm serving as a volunteer in Nebraska Congressional District 2. I want to invite you to get acquainted session Saturday, May 10th at the Omaha Downtown Library, 1402 Jones Street, room 101. Meeting time will be 11 a.m. This will be informal and meant for us to learn more about each other's thoughts on the No Labels movement. Feel free to email me or call me if you have requests. Let's work on freeing Americans from this Democrat versus Republican morass. Vince Furlong is furlongvince at gmail.com. Hit him up if you want to talk to him about that movement and get with him. Vince been doing some work for a long time. I met him years ago when I got in town. He was doing a South Omaha walking tour, and we eventually put together the North Omaha walking tour together later on in time. And then he's also a alumni from the Content Creators Camp. So shout out to Vince Furlong, and like I said, he's working with documenters now. So still doing the good work. And I appreciate Vince doing that and all that good stuff, man. It's what's up. It takes all kinds of people, all different kinds of people to get busy on what needs to happen there, and that's what's up. So appreciate Vince. Hit him up if you are interested in that movement. And with that, that's kind of what's going on in the community updates. But we got tons of haps. So what's the haps? What's happening? Yo, what's going down? We're going to jump into some haps, and I'm just going to breeze through them, man, because there is a lot going on already. And this is going to sustain all through the summer with everything that's happening. But we already showed you about what's going on with First Friday. But this is something new here. This is the Adams Park Grand Opening Festival. Family activities, pro BMX demo, bike programs, food trucks. The grand opening of the Adams Park Trail System. I've been seeing signs around Adams Park that's like "Don't enter, don't enter," and I was like, "Why are they blocking everything off?" Well, I guess they're finally opening up this new trail that they made. It's over there at 3230 John Creighton Boulevard. So the grand opening is happening in June. Mark this on your calendars. It's going to be something interesting to check out. The Adams Park Grand Opening Festival. So we'll see how that happens. We haven't utilized activated Adams Park as much as I think we ought to be activating Adams Park. So I'm glad to see this. So put this on your calendar. It looks like it's going down. Also, friends of BFF Happy Hour is happening first Friday today, featuring Rhea Gold, who's a local artist that is one of my favorite local artists out here. First Friday is happening May 2nd, 6 to 7 at the Sydney. So again, First Friday is going down tonight, and there's different events all through Benson, all up and down Maple Street, and this is one of them. So if you want to go support Rhea Gold, definitely go check out this happy hour that's happening from 6 to 7 at the Sydney. And then, of course, you can walk up and down the street, the Benson Creative District, and go check out all the art from all of the different galleries. And it's going down over there. So shout out to BFF for the First Friday, consistent First Friday that happens here. I've been to several First Fridays around the country in different cities, and we got one of the best right here. So shout out to the work that BFF has been doing. Partners over there. We already talked about the Taco Fest. This is happening at 2624 Edward Babe Gomez Avenue today from 5 to 9. All you can eat tacos. Taco Fest is their Cinco de Mayo Taco Fest, so they're celebrating early. So shout out to them for that. Also put this on your calendars, man. This is going to be huge. The MX 100 Malcolm X Celebration of Life block party is happening on May 17th. This is one to not be missed, bro. Special performance by recording artist Dead Prez. Prez is going to be in the house, man. So shout out to all the sponsors for this. 87.9 The Culture, music powered by 87.9 The Culture. North End Teleservices is helping sponsor this as well, and Malcolm X Memorial Foundation. So definitely check this out. Get ready. Join us for a day of music, food, and magic. It's going down. Malcolm X Memorial Foundation, Building 36 on Evans. Come and check out local vendors, artists, DJs, and food trucks, and special performance by Dead Prez, one of my favorite groups of all time. We've been talking for years about having them come down and play. Mix. Finally happening. So put that on your calendars because it's going down in a real way. Also, don't want to forget what's happening today as well. Indian tacos is going on today too. Native Soul Big Elk Indian taco sale is happening. It's Taco Thursday, I guess, or Taco Friday, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's going down. Shout out to Lavelle Wells, who runs the Native Soul Big Elk office over there. This is happening today from 11 a.m. to sold out, so you can get your tacos at lunch. Of course, when you go and buy the Indian tacos from this, you're supporting Native Soul and Big Elk. Shout out to Lavelle Wells, who puts the work in when it comes to bringing together the Black and Indigenous communities in particular. And yeah, man, shout out to all the good work that he's been doing. So yeah, let's definitely support him. It's going to be at Center Mall, 1941 South 42nd Street on the 4th floor, Suite 402G. So definitely check that out. And you can pre-order at 402-216-1953. So shout out to Lavelle Wells for that one as well. Also, man, Marcy Yates got something going on over at Culture House. The pop-up voter expo is happening. The Culture House is not just a place that is a proponent of the arts, but has been right there in the fight ever since Freedom Summer 2020, and is doing the good work of trying to get people to get up and go out to vote and do all that stuff. So this community meet and greet that's happening, the community feedback, they're having a discussion on Wednesday, May the 7th, 5:30 to 7:30. Learn about the community partners. Vote on May 13th. They're already trying to make it happen. There's going to be food and music. So yeah, pop up at the Voter Expo. Get busy over there with the Culture House. Shout out to Marcy Yates for jumping in on that. Also, this is happening today as May 3rd, actually tomorrow, the Love, Growth, and Plant Market Festival here. It's a Saturday, May 3rd from 12 to 6, 10850 Emmett Street. As you can see, tons of vendors that are going to be here too. I'm seeing Moss Lady in this list of vendors, so that's what's up. And man, there's a lot of candle makers, a lot of floral artists, all kinds of stuff going on here with this one. If you're into plants and all that good stuff, then you might want to check this festival out tomorrow. I know we got a lot of plant parents.
Yeah.
Big time. I try to do my hand at it, but I kill about 50% of my plants. So
Get your green thumb going.
I got to get my Dr. Green thumb on for real, for real.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what's happening, man, around town, and we'll talk about more haps as we go along throughout the show. But we definitely got to jump into what else is going on and the things that we're going to talk about today. And I'm gonna go ahead and toss that over to Buddy. What's today's thread, man? Give us a little taste of what we're gonna be talking about today.
Man, several things to dive into today. And actually kind of teeing some things up for Monday. Of course, you're talking about the festivities going on over the weekend. Monday will actually be Cinco de Mayo, the actual day, again, Cinco the 5th. And want to definitely talk about this latest Trump move over actually yesterday. Over the last 24 hours, people have gone to the streets across the nation, and not just in Omaha, not just here in Atlanta, but again, several cities across the nation saw people pouring into the streets protesting Trump and his latest moves. And again, over the last 24 hours, there's been some big changes, not only in immigration, possibly deportation of U.S. citizens. Yeah, we'll be diving into that, but also in our regard, in our industry, news is huge, and we're constantly asking, where are you getting your information? And this might be a big blow to some people's source of information, talking about NPR and PBS getting a huge cut in federal funding. But Paul, you having some thoughts on why that might not be so much doom and gloom connected to that? So definitely love to hear your thoughts on that situation. Also, CNN is reporting that the final ship that is not impacted or carrying tariff impacted products is finally coming into the ports, meaning that the countdown for prices to go up has begun. Again, after this last ship comes into a U.S. port, all Chinese ships will be carrying tariff-ridden products, which means, again, prices going up. Looking at the countdown for that situation and still reeling from Trump. As always, definitely love to hear your thoughts on that. But coming locally, again, Paul kind of gave an update on the China Bryant situation. Speaking of tariffs, again, everybody expecting their bottom line to be impacted with this, and could easily find ourselves in a similar situation to Sister Bryant. Again, we've been talking about how thin of a line people are walking in regards to homelessness. And this is definitely a situation that's just China Bryant found herself in. Big shout out to those in the community stepping up. We're going to talk about that a little later on. And then also some other resources in the community actually is being reported about this Nebraska business organization. Resources out there for small business owners trying to get their hands on some capital. Yeah, we're talking about it, man. Follow the money. Not quite this season, but never too early to get into some coin talk. Of course, we'll be also talking to our special guest, brother K2 Keives, also my cousin, but dope artist for Disney Marvel. He worked with the Sinners team on the latest film and some other things. So we're digging into what he has going on and more. Of course, if there's anything on your hearts and minds that we're not talking about, feel free to drop that into the chat. Paul B, how'd I do? Did I miss anything?
No, man, and anything that we catch up, we will definitely catch up here a little later on. So I appreciate you wrapping that up for us. That's what's up.
Nice.
We'll definitely jump back in. Before we go to a break, just want to jump back into the chat real quick. See a lot of the chat kind of going off, and I appreciate everybody that's doing that. She says, Kimmer Snipes says, Joanna is working with a dope camera crew out of LA, and one of their members is from South Omaha. Just did a video with them earlier this week for the gala. Group is Robeson Parks LLC. That's what's up. Appreciate the message on that. Sean McCarthy says, I know where my lunch destination will be, man. The tacos is going down, man. RG said, all you can eat tacos down in Metro. Yeah, it's going down. So let's definitely check that out. Also, Maggie Miller Jenkins says she was at the protest in Lincoln. Yeah, let us know how that went. Yeah, good turnout on that. Good turnout on the protest. Do you feel like the point was made? Let us know. Appreciate that. Also, Ariel's 402 is giving us some more information on Edward Babe Gomez. Says he's a Medal of Honor recipient, street and school named in his honor. So that's what's up. Yeah, so they'll be celebrating his legacy as well. I appreciate the information there on that. Also, Kimmer said all black crew as far as that video thing. She says I should have said that. That's what's up. All black crew out of LA. Definitely love to meet them. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get to that break, and then we'll come on back and jump into a little bit of discussion before we have our special guest on. He's waiting in the wings, kind of holding by, so we standing by. So we definitely want to make sure that we give him his time. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's Buddy the God. Stay
Hey.
tuned. All of you ghost listeners and chat chatters. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Lead poisoning in children under 7 is scary, but it's also 100% preventable. Not only can lead be found in paint and soil, it can be found in many common spices, certain baby foods, and brought home from job sites. Children with lead poisoning might not show any symptoms until their levels are dangerously high. So ask your healthcare provider for a lead test for your child. You can help prevent lead poisoning in children. Brought to you.
Right on, right on. Shout out to Douglas County Health Department for that message. Also, shout out to Precious McKesson for who is telling us through the Democratic Party that the voting is happening for us Omaha May 13th. Lincoln is going to be May 6th, so it's coming up for people very shortly. And of course, we're in the midst of all this right now. Here's some of the Lincoln candidates that we haven't really been looking at as well. I think that we got a few people who are based out of Lincoln that tune in, and let us know how the races is going there. But of course, a lot of our focus here is around our race here with the mayor, John Ewing, of course. Also, the different districts. The big one is Ben Gray and Lavonia Goodwin in Omaha City Council District 2.
Yeah, man.
Interesting to see Councilwoman Juanita Johnson moving and shaking in City Council when we're watching what's going on now, knowing that she's not going to be back. And kind of seeing how she's moving these days on that too. And it doesn't seem like she's slowed down from any of the way that she's been doing the job this whole time. So shout out to Councilwoman Juanita Johnson for her time. But this next race between former City Council member Ben Gray and Lavonia Goodwin is going to be a really interesting one as well. So shout out to them. And of course, the dates that are happening, man, May 13th is going to be when the polls open. That's going to be battle day. But the early voting in-person voting is already happening now. So if you have your early voting form and you want to send that in, you can do that now, or you can put it in one of those ballot boxes, or you can go to 12220 West Center Road, which is the voting office, and you can go vote in person right now. That's happening now. It started April 28th, and it's going through all the way up until May 12th, and then May 13th is when the polls open. So definitely check it out. There's also more opportunity to volunteer as well, so you can volunteer or ask any questions by going to info@nebraskademocrats.org, or give them a call at 402-434-2180. So shout out to Precious and Nebraska Democratic Party for providing some messages through us to remind each other what season this is, ballot and the bullet. It's kind of going down right now. So gotta find out what's happening. We'll talk a little bit more about that. We got a guest coming on here pretty soon too, from the South Side, and talk a little bit more about what's going on the South Side. Cameron says South Omaha Neighborhood Alliance had a forum last night for the mayor and South O City Council districts. Said Tony Vargas endorsed Ron Hugg. Okay, so that race is heating up too. We'll definitely be talking about that. Badger Miller Jenkins was talking about that protest out there in Lincoln. Says decent turnout. Started having education tours as a regular action, and I'm loving the development of action instead of reactions. Love to talk more about that. Appreciate that very much. Yeah, man. Actions instead of reactions. That's where we need to be at, for real.
Big time.
We'll put that on a shirt. It is 7:24 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we got a few more minutes before we're going to bring on our special guest. Buddy, you want to jump into the first subject?
Yeah, just kind of teeing things up, and picking up where we are. Also, in addition to the South Omaha Forum, District 2 had a forum last night as well, for the candidates. So again, if you haven't voted already and you're on the fence, continue to educate yourself. We also have information on our YouTube for the candidates as well. So yeah, go ahead and check that out. But I appreciate Maggie Miller Jenkins and her reaction. Speaking of reactions and actions, getting active and getting out there and, letting her voice be heard. She says decent turnout for the May Day protest, which again is a response or reaction, if you will, to the Trump administration. Actually, according to articles, there were not just local, not just national, but international protests in regards to Donald Trump and some of the moves that he's making, and some of the latest moves. Definitely, we might not have enough time to dive into it today, man, because we will have to have some extensive conversation. Monday might be a great day to talk about this latest move as far as deportations. Actually, shout out to Pops sharing some videos on friends of a few lawmakers who are ringing the alarm, calling out. This coming from Newsweek. Apparently, Republicans recently voted against a move to stop ICE from deporting U.S. citizens. So the pathway is clearing for U.S. citizens to be deported to Venezuela and other South American detention centers. House Republicans again voted down an effort to block immigration enforcers from using federal resources to detain or deport U.S. citizens. During a House Judiciary Committee meeting on Wednesday, Democrats tabled amendments to a sweeping budget bill that President Donald Trump has dubbed one big, beautiful bill. So again, this move coming just days before Cinco de Mayo. I don't think that is a coincidence. And again, exactly what does this mean? How can this be stopped? I'm definitely looking forward to speaking about that more. We have our Senator Cipher on Monday. Is this something that the states can block? We already know that on the local level, the county has already been reportedly speaking to ICE officials about using Douglas County facilities to detain ICE deportees. So yeah, right in our own backyard. Definitely something to look out for. But not just that, several other things impacting us. Talking about First Sky Omaha, us in the journalism realm, talking about NPR and PBS, which when you kind of add all these things together, it's kind of worrying, when you think about it, as far as some of these moves, deporting citizens and things like that, but also trying to undermine news outlets. How are you going to know about what's going on as these things progress? Very, very concerning. But quickly, Paul, you said you don't think that this is going to have too big of an impact on NPR and PBS?
No, it's definitely going to have an impact. But PBS reported that they get 15% of their money from federal grants, and NPR reported they get 1% of their money from federal grants. So, and it's not anything. I don't think that they can. They'll be able to battle with rallying people to do subscribe and so on and so forth in order to be able to make up some of those differences. But it is kind of the first step. It does look like first step towards that kind of war on journalism that we've been talking about. That's been happening, but it's really happening in a big way now by trying to defund all these things. Doesn't really affect us either. We ain't making them. Trump ain't giving us no money to run this show, so we still gonna keep reporting. I think that what's going to happen is that people are going to be continuing on to battle and report and do what they do. One thing that everybody got going for them is social media. That's why it's so important to really kind of get your content creator skills up and rolling, and infused with journalism so that you can really become a trusted source and do the thing. So that's what it is. He said, Anthony Rogers Rice says Trump has signed an executive order attempting to defund NPR and PBS. It will lose in court. So that's always a possibility too, is what's going on in these courts. We get all reports back and forth all the time about the court system, and whether or not the courts are upholding the things that Trump is trying to do, or whether or not they're battling him, or whether or not they can win in the battle as well. So yeah, this is something that I think is going to be very much fought. But it is definitely going to be a fight. Half the platforms out there are run by the bros. The what do they call them? The broligarchs. That's what's going on, man. Amazon just tried to put up a price of what the tariff would be, so you can see on the items that you buy what is the price and what is the tariff, and the Trump administration lost their whole mind over that one, and said that they're anti-Trump and all this stuff. So of course they brought it down, because who owns Amazon? One of the broligarchs. So it's going to be like that, and Amazon is behind a whole lot of servers too for a whole lot of people. So you got to think about that. News outlets, the New York Times and everything else, man, their servers run through Amazon. So if they're controlling, it's going to be a fight, because if they're controlling stuff like that, then even the internet is is going to be a place where the battleground is going to be held as well. So it really does have to do with, us speaking face to face, us gathering together in neighborhoods, us speaking to each other through emails and other means, because everything is up for an attack.
Yeah, and to that point, definitely coming together is the big move. Is a big move. You kind of mentioned it as far as information is going to be passed, and we're going to talk and share information. But that bottom line with these terrorists may be impacted, which most likely will be impacted. Which will definitely impact us all, will impact everyone's bottom line, which is, a good sign when we see situations like what's happening with China Bryant and people coming together with resources, coming together to help each other out in tough situations that we all might be finding ourselves in here very, very soon in light of some of these Trump moves. Can you actually post that back up really quickly just to shout out and, for those who want to help out, because that is one of the big things that we will be leaning on this platform a little more. Again, sharing resources, not just talking about the issues, but talking about solutions like this. Again, when somebody finds themselves in a situation, maybe those in the city view might need some help coming up. Again, a shout out to Sister Stennis Williams and Raquel Henderson for posting this, and all those connected to Reconnect to Success. Again, as you see on the screen, China Bryant was a sister who was recently arrested after, again, she was found in the van with her 7 children. And the children are currently in protective service. But, this hopefully will lead towards her being reunited with her children as far as getting back on her feet. Again, this post says that she did find long-term housing, currently looking for employment. But if anyone has any resources that they can help with, again, gift cards, gas cards, clothing, all of these things needed still. Also, you see a few clothes items, food items at the bottom as well, shoes, things like that. So again, please chime in and let's set the precedent. We all we got, but that's enough. And I'll keep saying that. And this is a prime example of what that looks like.
Big time. We're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna start go through the chat here. The chat's kind of going off, speaking of some headlines and some other things that people are saying. And while we get our set up, our guest to come in, he's about to come in here in just a second. And while we get that set up, just want to mention a few things that's happening in the chat. Najee Miller Jenkins says Lincoln Public Schools just lost $7 million for mental health workers from the Doge cuts. Which is ridiculous. Anthony Rogers Wright is giving us the headline: Trump, Israel committing genocide and starving Gaza, and international worker solidarity were the major themes of yesterday. So keeping an pulse on what's going on in international waters as well. Matthew Miller Jenkins says veterans housing got slashed and 60,000 veterans are at risk of eviction from it. This is it's kind of that's really incredible, man. Everything that's going on there. It's amazing. Also, Mama God says that Amazon does show tariff impact on foreign countries sites.
Okay,
they just can't show them here, which is telling. RG in the chat says AWS is in more backgrounds than people know. They hold the majority share of cloud-based businesses. That's Amazon. The majority share of cloud-based businesses, Amazon servers, man, for real. Matthew Miller Jenkins says, "Do we talk about Spain, Portugal, and southern France losing power?" No, we haven't.
No, I heard about that briefly, but I'm not sure the extent.
Yeah, lots of headlines, lots of news. Appreciate everybody that's we ready over here. Yeah. Right on. Yeah, appreciate everybody who's joining us and giving us some of those headlines. And now we're gonna go ahead and bring in our special guest who's been patiently waiting in the wings, ladies and gentlemen. My man. I'm gonna get him over here in a second here. K2 in the house. What's going on, Keives?
What's going on? How's everybody doing this morning?
Man, hanging in there, bro. Hanging in there. I'm glad to see you on. I was a little nervous about the tech going on around here.
Yeah. Had some technical difficulties, but I think we got it together now.
Brother, we constantly have technical difficulties over here. I'm juggling stuff the whole show most of the time, so it's all good. I appreciate you coming through, man. I'm real anxious to talk to you.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Hey, man, because of course we're super excited about the movie Sinners, and Buddy told me that his cuz was worked on the film and some other films, and I was like, see, that's what I'm talking about, man. Sometimes you got to get out of here and move to LA and do your thing and blah blah blah. He was like, nah, he didn't move. He in Omaha. I was like, what? So
Yup.
it's even better of a story to me, man. I'm really anxious to hear from you about how it is that you tapped in to the highest level film and entertainment industry stuff from Omaha and are able to do it from Omaha. First of all, before we get started, for the people that don't know you, go ahead and give your introduction and tell us who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Keives McGaugh. I'm Buddy's cousin,
Hey,
aka Key Illis or K2 the Illis. I started off rapping, um, tattoo artist and everything like that, and then I've been in film since I started working on film when I was 12 in Monroe because I was in the multimedia class, and I just kept doing it even in Northwest. I was in the multimedia club and the multimedia classes. Got out of school, I started acting. I was in the movie Insurgent, auditioned for Strata Compton, and I'm in the movie Indoor. They just released that on YouTube now, so now you can actually fully watch that movie, the movie Indoor. And then after that, just kept going with it. Even still, I still kind of act, but I got more into being the storyboard artist. I went to college for art. So that's how that went.
you went to what school did you go to for art?
I went to Metro, up at North
Man.
Metro,
That's what's
North
up, man.
Campus.
Yeah, I did the audio video communications degree at Metro, so I did a little bit of North, a little bit of Elkhorn.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that about Omaha, man. You can develop talent. I call Omaha the shed. This is where you get good out here. You know what I'm saying, and can do some bigger things. So, how did you make the connection between after you got done doing art? You know, your art lessons and jumped into stuff. How did you get the connections to do stuff out of town like that?
Well, it started when I did Insurgent. We filmed that in Atlanta, and that kind of opened up some opportunities as far as meeting people, like in Lionsgate. That film was made through Lionsgate,
Okay.
and the next major film I did was American Underdog. I played a reporter in that film, and I ended up meeting more people that re-meeting people that I met on Insurgent that still worked on that, for Lionsgate. And I have a good friend, Paul Stewart, who's actually a producer, who was one of the producers on Snowfall.
Oh yeah. Okay.
On Snowfall, the TV show. Rest in peace, John Singleton. When he had passed away, they were looking for more writers and storyboard artists, conceptual artists to pretty much, finish the season out for him.
Yeah.
The last season. So I helped out on a lot of that on season 6 of Snowfall. And through that relationship with Paul Stewart, I was able to, he opened the floodgate for me to pretty much storyboard for a lot of people.
That's what's up, man. All about them connections, for real.
Yes, sir.
I'm so happy to hear. I'm from Cali myself, so I'm so happy to hear that John Singleton link, bro. John Singleton is the dude for us out there in a big way.
Man, I really do appreciate the opportunity. Before he passed, I had got the opportunity to talk to him very briefly. It wasn't a deep conversation, but it was a very big, strike on my board for me. I always, I was a big fan of Boys in the Hood and all the other movies that he came up with coming up. So it was something on my bucket list that I wanted to do.
I love it. I love that. That's what's up, man. I got a million questions, bro, but I'm gonna go ahead and jump. I'm gonna jump it over to Buddy because Buddy will sit there just politely quiet and let me just talk. I know you guys. I'm gonna stop now because I can talk to this brother all day about some of the stuff that I'm wondering about. But go ahead, Buddy. What's on your mind?
Man, just want to contextualize for our audience, the importance of this conversation. Man, first of all, because you and I have already talked, we've talked many times about it, but for those watching, like, this is the big cousin that influenced me a lot. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who sees me doing music, really even doing media, like hearing that he was in media, having this microphone in my face right now, I will give a big part of that to Cuz, going back to early days with, doing, he's being modest, but he does a lot, man. Breakdancing with Houston Alexander and Doc Beatbox. I'm talking 15, 20 years ago.
Wow.
Like Cuz been doing this, you know what I mean? And I'm very, very proud of him. And the fact that we've been hype about the Sinners project, and just to hear that you're working on it and having that Omaha connection is big for us. So just get into that a little bit, and how you got into Sinners, a little bit about the deal that you got right now with Disney. Like, what's going on right now?
Well, when I started storyboarding for Sinners, it technically really didn't have a title yet. I had already worked on a few Marvel movies because working for Disney, I'm mainly on the side of Marvel. We got Thunderbolts, Daredevil. I did Deadpool and Wolverine. I got the Avengers coming up and a couple, more Marvel movies coming in. Ryan Coogler was the director of Black Panther.
Right.
So during those conversations, there was like they kind of asked me what kind of movies. I was like, man, I would love to work on a black film, that's kind of send like it's a time period piece. And then they started, it was a group of us, but everybody started throwing in and back and forth their ideas, like, oh, what if we introduce, American cryptids and we go into voodoo and it just started kind of snowballing into its own thing. So like the things that, like, for instance, like they asked me particularly, like Smoking Stack, for instance. We were talking about doing brothers, and then it was like, okay, well, how can we differentiate two twins? I'm like, well, throw one in red, throw one in blue.
Hey.
They're like, why? They're like, why? I'm like, well, let's think about it. I'm like, okay, well, we got twins. This is when I found out that, Michael B. Jordan was going to play twins in the movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, make Smoke the one in blue. He's got to be more of a laid back character, more serious, more money oriented.
That Crip Cuz, right? That Crip Cuz. I know what you're talking about. I know you're
okay. And then I was like, now with Stack, he gotta be more flamboyant, throw the gold in his mouth, let him wear red. He gotta be the kind of the one throwing the money around and one to party, because colors invoke feelings. Each color, each color invokes a different vibe between the brothers, and you can really see the difference. Like, yeah, they're identical twins, but you can see the difference in personality just alone off the color. And then also we got into like the Jack Johnson story, the selling his soul at the crossroads, to play the guitar.
Robert Johnson.
Robert Johnson. I'm sorry, Robert Johnson. That was a very old story that stuck out in my mind, because even in the tattoo shops, we used to have, posters of them, and we talk about that story. So I was like, man, wouldn't that be a good movie to see? When I was working on it, I thought it was going to be kind of like a Color Purple type movie at first. You know what I mean? And then it was like right when we got like all the Black history, stuff established in the film, then it hits like a quarter, and it's like, oh, it's a vampire movie. And that's like that's where like the fun really started, because then it started being like, okay, one thing about horror movies is, like, I always kind of felt as a storyboard artist, like a lot of, like, how do I say it? They don't really depict on what people would really do in those situations. Like, say we're all in a house and we're surrounded by zombies or vampires or whatever. And it's like, all right, you gonna go outside? Like, no, I'm not going outside. And then, hey, you gonna let them inside? Hell no, I'm not letting them inside. Or, it was just like, okay, let's try to ground this really in reality on what a person would do. Like, for instance, the conversation was like, you done been in and out all day. You ain't been asking to come on in. Why you need to get let in the house?
Right.
These are questions that I feel like, especially in a Black movie, these questions we gonna ask. Like, how we make those jokes on, like, Instagram and everything. Like, we hear the creak downstairs, we're not going to go look.
Right.
And it was like, okay, let's add this in. And then it also got deeper when we tried to include a little bit of everybody's culture. It wasn't necessarily just about Black people. That's why you have the Asian couple, which that also goes back to, like, when the railroads were, being constructed. That's how a lot of the Asian population had got into America, and they lived amongst us. In the beginning of the movie, you see that the natives were chasing, the villain around first. So then you see, of course, the villain was Irish,
Right.
So it was more like, okay, let's try to show everybody's culture and how all these cultures mixed together make American culture. When Sammy was playing the guitar, and there's a particular scene in the film, I don't want to do spoilers, but where it's kind of like all moments meet one. Like, you see the African deities, you see like your Parliament, George Clinton type thing going on. Like, right when Sammy's playing, you see right next to it, guy steps up next to him with the electric guitar. you know, with the whole soul funk stuff going on. And then, of course, you saw the Crips and Bloods, Crip walking in the background and stuff. It was supposed to represent, like, best way to describe this. James Brown is one of the most sampled artists, period.
Right.
To the point where you could play his songs in different genres almost.
Mm-hmm.
The same way you sample a rap song, that you could use that same song to make a rock and roll song. Use that same song, play it in jazz, play it in blues. You could play an African piano over it. You could, you know. And what it was that when he was playing, when Sammy was playing, and everybody was getting together, that scene right there was about, okay, let's blend everything from us being like stolen from, you know, our country, and, you know, going into slavery to the things that we had to learn, you know, over time and everything like that, you
Yeah.
know, blend it all into one thing. And that's what you know, brought the vampirism in, because once he smelled what he could do with music, because music transcends through generations, vibrations, people, and everything like that. When he saw that, he was like, I want it for myself. Like, it's going to be easier for me to make more vampires if I can get this Sammy kid. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because that's how you grab the generation, through the music.
It was like a culture vulture. It was like something about
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
He
Yes.
wanted to pull the Elvis on us.
Yes.
Man.
Yes.
I
Yes.
actually want to explore that a little bit, as far as the power of music. As somebody who's a musician yourself, a revolutionary, having that element in the movie, and, you know, looking at Omaha in general, being an artist in Omaha, being a revolutionary in Omaha. What do you think the environment is as far as Omaha goes for arts, and you know, really leaning into what you're talking about as far as the power of music and how that can impact?
Well, my personal thought on that, you know, like, that helped me out during the storyboard process, was thinking about the whole jazz district down on 24th Street. Like, you know, when Duke Ellington, Preston Love, and all the, you know, who's related to Faison Love, you know, that whole area. And I live on 29th and Parker. That's just down the street. That used to be the whole jazz district. And just looking at old news clippings and old videos and documentaries about Omaha, you kind of start to relate to these stories. And then, like, a lot of us, we all came from the South. Everybody, we all migrated around the country, you know. And to see how back in those days, like, it really had their whole generation in the chokehold. Everybody loved it. Like me and my dad, we used to say back, you know, my dad used to tell me, you know, when they were younger, their parents, grandparents, and the children all listened to the same music, really. It wasn't really till, like, I want to say 60s, 70s, and 80s, it started being, you know, different tastes in the music. But it's like I said, the same way you might like the James Brown song, I might like the way Snoop and Biggie rapped over it. You might like how Chris Brown done made, but it's all the same song.
Right.
It's all the same song. It's all the same message. And it came from a place of think about it, a lot in the movie centers, those people were sharecroppers. People were paying with wooden nickels and stuff like that. And they had made the whole juke joint really because we ain't got no place to go kick it.
Right. Which is exactly
Jim Crow going on. Y'all don't want us to go there. That's why they also had a thing where it's like, oh, I don't know if we should let y'all in. You know, I think you in the wrong spot. You might want, you know, there's a nice bar down there. You might want to go to, because so many problems would arise. Like, you know, of course, we've heard of Redwood and, you know, towns burning down. You know, black towns, Black Wall Street, places like that, where black people, we would try to thrive, but eventually chaos would spread and we'd have to figure out another way of life. So that's kind of what the representation of the juke joint was to me. And in my mind, it reminded me of 24th Street and how it burnt down, the jazz district.
Yeah, that's heavy. I was just thinking about that now. We in the same situation now where there's really no place for young folks to go. You know, Buddy was on. We were on the show one time. Buddy got very emotional about that. He's like, "What do we have? Where, you know what I'm saying? Like, they've taken everything from us. We have no place to go. You know, what do we have?" And especially when it comes to Omaha right now, we're doing a big campaign over there on 24th and Lake, trying to help revitalize the Deuce. Them areas.
Hey, but shout out to Marcy Yates, because that's what I believe the culture house is.
Right.
Like I got a lot of respect for Marcy and his brother and everything they've been doing down there. That's a start. You know, that's a perfect start. All it takes is just like, okay, we ain't got nowhere to go. We got to create a place to go.
Man. Have you been to the Union as an artist? Have you been to the Union?
You talking about the one here in Omaha?
Yeah, the Union.
I've talked to people and stopped by. I'm still technically considered non-union, like to the point where
he talking about the Union for Contemporary Art.
Yeah,
yeah,
I've been there.
I've been there.
Okay.
But you know, it's come and go type thing. You know.
Yeah. We trying to turn that. We got to make that back home. What especially where it sits and all the stuff that can come out of it. And cats like you are what I feel like can come out of a place like that because of like how you did it. And I got to get to it. It's 7:50 right now. If you believe in the concept of time,
7:50.
If you just
7:50. 7:50.
We are sitting here with brother Keives McGaugh, aka K2, and he is with us, doing some big work. We've been talking about the movie Sinners a lot in the past 3 or 4 shows, and this brother right here is on it. And my mind is kind of blown about like how much influence you had on this piece here. I didn't realize that you was in the creative process of putting that together. Mama God in the chat real quick is saying, did I miss out? What is a storyboard artist? Tell us what a storyboard artist is, and then I got to get to how you made this connection, bro.
Storyboard artist was created. The term was created by Disney in the 1920s. What Disney has 3 types of storyboard artists. You can either draw, you can lay down a skeleton work verbally, like kind of like what I do is a little bit of mix of both. And then there's another way of using models. With me, I've always been in the movies, so like I always like dream up these scenarios like of my favorite movies. Like, oh, what if this happened? You know, what if Batman jumped off the building and landed in, coming up with stories. And so that's how it ended up happening. And we ended up kind of changing that term again because now we have the introduction of AI. So now really you just an AI whisperer where you could just tell an AI these things that you want to see and happen, and the AI will come up with a whole image of that. So we've updated the term of what a storyboard artist is just through having to stick with the times. Like I went to college for drawing. I've been drawing since I was 4, like, actually pencil, pen, paper, rulers, and actually trying to do that. And then it's funny when I actually get into the medium, it's not drawing, it's talking to an AI.
I don't even touch the pencil no more.
Man.
I don't even really got to touch it no more. I still draw and I still do my thing, but as far as working go, like even working remotely, AI is how you do it. It's AI, but it's like I said, AI whisper. AI will make its own thing, but that's where you have to come in and add in the correct thing, so there's a flow to it, and it still feel like it got a soul.
So storyboarding is what you draw up exactly what the movie gonna look like and the different scenes and camera shots and stuff like that, so that they got a reference to go to shoot the film just like it is on the storyboard.
So yep, and of course little changes happen on the set, like you correlate with the writers, the producers, the directors, and then of course there's the storyboard artists, and it's like way before they even decided they're going to start filming, they got a good idea what we're going to do and how this is going to look, how this is going to go. They got a game plan, so by the time they start filming, everything, all the rest of the magic takes place there. So really you just come up with the skeleton, they're coming up with the meat and the fat and everything.
That's what's up, bro. Man, in the last few minutes of this show, I gotta have you comment on just being an artist that's doing high level stuff in other states where there's an industry, but living in Omaha. What Omaha needs to produce more cats like you, man? Like what does Omaha need to be able to support the growth of a cat that got talent like you got, and that can connect them with the outside world? You know what I'm saying?
I think what it is, on a grander scale, like I think really a lot of the people of Omaha, like ourselves and a couple of other people around, Omaha, we have some very influential people, period. Once we all get together and we start figuring out like, okay, well, what's needed, like with me personally, I would do some classes. I would try to teach some classes or do a couple seminars, you know, for people that were interested in doing this type of thing. Also, you know, trying to, you know, promote these multimedia classes here in Omaha, like whether you're going to Metro, whether you're, you know, college, high school, or middle school, elementary, because that's how far this goes back. And that's how usually how long it takes to for real learn the craft. It takes years sometimes. But there, as long as there was a multimedia club or a class in school, I took it.
Yeah.
And then even outside, like when I wasn't in school or I wasn't in college, I still had an interest in doing it, and I tried to surround myself with people that still had the same interest, you know, and try to learn from them also. But I think that's how Omaha we're going to get more into, like, I believe the entertainment side as far as film go. Also, you know, film, I believe we're going to have more people like that coming real soon. There's already people, you know, going out of town and, you know, being background artists and, uh, you know, acting in different shows. Like even when I worked on Snowfall, I noticed, I'm going to call her Miss McWilliams. She plays somebody on Snowfall, and I'm looking like, oh, okay, I'm talking to the people behind the scenes. You're actually playing a character on the show. You're from Omaha. That's great to me. I like to see that, and I would like to see more of that. And I see in the future, I think even the younger generation here in Omaha, there's going to be more people coming out working in the industry.
Yeah,
man, big time.
You did a lot of traveling and a lot of connecting with people to do what you had to do too. What made you decide to stay in Omaha though instead of move out to where the industry's at?
Well, I'm here. I'm here because I have children. I still leave if I got to. I guess that's just what it was. It was like, all right, you know, everybody got like their regular life, and then everybody got their dream. So I was like, all right. When I was younger, you know, I did my first movie in Atlanta. I went to New York. I went to California. I went to Chicago. I went to Detroit. I went anywhere, just anywhere to network. You know what I mean? But Omaha was always home. I was like, okay, I might not be able to do it here. I might have to go leave and go do this job, but I'm gonna come back. And even if I decide like I'm gonna move one day, I'm still from Omaha and I still represent Omaha.
Yeah.
It was just me trying to stay with the times when I decided to work remotely, because when I got hired for Disney, it was during the writer's strike. I was already an actor, had already worked in about 3 or 4 movies, but I was like, okay, it's drying up, ain't nothing going on. I look on TV and I see that, you know, it's a writer's strike. And I at the time I was non-union, meaning I wasn't affiliated with any type of guild. So I looked at it like, okay, this is my time to jump in the swimming pool.
Yeah.
Y'all not going to work, and I can't afford not to go to work.
Right.
So while everybody else outside, like, hey, look, this is what I can do, and this is who I am. This is what I can do. These are the type of movies I like. This is what I think needs to change in the movie industry. And hey, they listened to me, and it worked.
Made that move.
Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard, man. It goes a long way. You never know who might be listening.
Yes,
we got just about 2 minutes left in this thing, and you know, I mean, I don't even know where to begin, man. I I already know, but I will. But I do want to get out of here with you letting people know personally what you got going on, man. Aside from a storyboard artist, you're a dope musician. I know you do music. Are you still doing Soul Brother 777, the comic book? What's going on?
Yes. Actually, yeah. Outside of film, I'm kind of getting back to writing some of my own stories. Like, I do have Soul Brother 777. I've been completely like, I want to redo the character. Like, I've been updating him because the last time I put those comic books out was a couple of years, like probably about 4 years ago. And I came up with a new character called Elwood Fear. And that's more of a family story because it starts back in the cowboy days, and it kind of talks about, his son and then his grandson, and it gets more into modern times. I've been kind of trying to like make my Black Avengers. Like I got
Epic.
A roster of characters that can tell this type of story in the fashion of a Marvel.
Nice. That's what's up, man. I can't wait to check that out. That's what's
I'm
up.
gonna post some artwork for it soon. Some updated character designs.
Yeah. And if anybody interested in checking out Soul Brother 777, that's already out. Send some links to friends of. Stay connected, man. Stay connected. You might have some new fans after this interview.
Oh yeah. I would love that.
Hey, brother, I really appreciate you getting up and dealing with this tech, and coming to another spot, getting up early, doing all the stuff that you did to help to come on the show.
Thank you for having me.
My favorite interview of the whole time we've been doing this, bro. For real.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I really enjoyed it.
You got me hyped. You got me excited, and I appreciate you. Mama Guy in the chat says, so proud of you, nephew. That's what's up.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. Appreciate it. We'll have to have you back, man, and talk a little bit more about some things when you get the chance.
Anytime.
Yeah. Appreciate you, bro.
Man, peace and love, cuz. I'll be seeing you.
All right, cousin.
All right, man. Peace. Oh, man, that's what's up.
I don't even feel like the 30 minutes we had was enough time, man. Like we can keep going with cuz, man. He's a very, very intelligent, very talented brother, and Omaha native, man. Proud Omaha native, as you see. So yeah, big shout out to cuz. Definitely happy the work that he's doing, and you know, just one of the prime examples of what we're talking about as far as resources, you know, the community supporting it. Also, you know, he used to perform at the B-side, man. Like he's definitely a product of the Omaha arts community. And you know, very proud to see what he's doing and what he has up next, man.
That's what's up. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate you guys letting us go in on that. It is Friday, and it really is something that I'm really happy to do on a Friday, especially on a first Friday, especially too, man. This is first Fridays all around the country is where you celebrate art, and you go out and you go check out local artists, and you go buy local artists' works so that you can have them when they was up and coming, and just to support it, and it's a huge undertaking. It's a huge deal. As you can see, there's when I think about recession and I think about problems that are going on as far as monetarily concerned, the movie industry is one that always stays no matter what through everything. And there's always a reason to go out and watch a film. and when you sit there at the end of a film and look at all the credits, there's thousands of jobs attached to it. Thousands of jobs attached to a film, one film. So for it must be growing up in California. I don't know, but it doesn't make any sense for any state to not have some incentives in an industry where the creations like that can be made, because it brings jobs, it uses talent, and it changes minds. How many people were affected by Spike Lee's Malcolm X film?
Man. Tony Johnson calling it out in the chat. He says film industry produces many other jobs like catering, design, hair, transportation, etc.
Even beyond working on the actual film, everything around it.
Yeah.
Hotels get money, restaurants get money when actors come to town. All of it. Security. So that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Appreciate that. Tony Johnson said, where does first Friday North Omaha take place? They do first Friday in the Village, but I don't think they do that every first Friday, but it does happen. It does go on in the Village though, and I think the next flyer they got is for one in October. If I can find that one real quick. It'd be nice if we can keep this going every week. We might need to talk to Empowerment Network and see how we can help engage and have a first Friday on the Deuce every week too. As a matter of fact, I have talked to some folks over at Union and also Dana Murray over at Noma about doing something like that. So we'll see how we can expand that, because a lot of people come out. I said it before and I'll say it again. Omaha is a place that I've met some of the most talented folks that I've ever worked with in the industries that I've been in all my life. And it has to do with Omaha. It has to do with the fact that there's no industry here. So all you really do is shed and learn your craft and get better. And you have to stay personally motivated, because you're not walking out into the street or going to conventions or doing stuff that keeps you motivated in your craft. You stay motivated in your craft, which makes you the best out of everybody. And so if we can connect the industry with the talent, then, ain't no telling what can happen coming out of here. So this cat is the prime example of that. Somebody who still lives in Omaha doing it, which, that disrupts my whole deal, bro. I've been advising young cats to move out of Omaha. If they're in entertainment, go to where the industry is. And this brother's proven you ain't got to do that. Work remotely, do what you know what I'm saying? Be home with your kids, be home with your family, and travel when you got to travel, and keep them high level connections and do the work. So that's what's up.
Man. Big shout out to Cuz, and excited to see what he has up next. My mind is kind of blowing low key, like knowing him and knowing what he just said. Like I could see the influence, in the movie. It's just full circle some of the things we did growing up, some of the movies we watched, and to see that influence make its way in such a huge film. It's mind blowing. Straight out of Omaha, man.
Straight out of Omaha. Let's get out of here, man. We already 4 minutes past the agreed upon time. I appreciate you guys allowing us to go past the 8 o'clock hour. What's the word, buddy? What's the word for the people?
Man, big shout out to Cuz for coming through and speaking with us. Again, go see Sinners, man. Check it out. It's a cultural moment happening right now. So check it out, support. And this is a film that the brother owns. Ryan Coogler is going to own this. And I actually know some relatives like Ryan Coogler come from a decent family, man. Like, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how all things are connected, but go support. And support us, man. Check us out same time, same place, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here on First Sky Omaha in the morning. And also make sure you go out and support your artists. Of course, Benson First Friday going down. A lot of artists will be out there. And get some tacos, support the community. Cinco de Mayo going down over the weekend. Let's live alive with one another this weekend. But of course, catch us on Monday. Senator Cypher coming up. So look out for that. Meantime, between time, Paul B.
Yep.
Take it away, man.
We didn't get a chance to talk about it all quite yet, but we will definitely come back. Senator Cypher is happening on Monday, and we are going to have to talk about some of the things that's gone down, like this advancement of this detention of 11-year-olds that just went down. Man, shout out to everybody that tried to fight this, but it's advancing now, and we will give you some updates on that when we talk to Senator McKinney and Senator Ashley Spivey, put some respect on their names. Definitely got to talk about that. Cameron Snipes put this out. Protect Nebraska's youth, vote no. Kids young as 11 could be detained. Mental health struggles, jail time, no public hearing, rush to law. Here's what you can do to take action. Call your senator, show up at the Capitol, share the post, and let people know that we ain't about this, not about detaining kids at 11 years old. So we'll talk more about that as we continue the conversation about what's going on in the legislature and what's going on in this voting season, and who's going to be behind getting away from that. I did go to one meeting that John Ewing was at, and he was talking about that. It wasn't nothing that wasn't going to be on his agenda at all, too, if he became mayor. He does not like that idea of detaining 11-year-olds at all. And so shout out to John Ewing for speaking up on that early while this is happening, but it's all happening. So we got to talk about it. So shout out. Appreciate you guys. Pops in the chat said, man, this was great. I hope he comes back soon. And those family genes are killer. He and Buddy look like brothers instead of cousins.
I've been hearing that for years, man.
RG said, Pops, one thing I noticed about any family in Omaha, including mine, those genes be superhero strong. It's the only place in the world I can walk down the street and somebody be like, "Are you Alan?" Yeah, I'm Alan. So genes be strong around here. Mama God said that was a dope interview. I may go see vampires since I know Key.
Hey, at least you didn't call it a zombie movie this time.
It's all demons. Appreciate that, man. Also, let's see what's Anthony Ratchet talking about. That Buddy come through. Look, I'm getting nosy.
Yeah, something going down in Atlanta this weekend. Let me know. Hit my phone. For
real. Yeah, man, we're gonna get out of here. Appreciate it. Thanks for everybody who joined the chat. Oh, Kimmer saying Senator Spivey, McKinney, and others have been working to negotiate any possible changes they can to ameliorate the harm. The reality is that the supermajority in the legislature, 33 senators, are following the lead of Governor, law enforcement, and Chair Bosin of the Judiciary Committee on this bill. Yeah. Any changes the opposing senators can negotiate with Senator Bosin may be the best that can happen with this. I appreciate that. I didn't want to get out of this show without talking about this because this was major, and I appreciate everybody who put this in Friends of First Sky Omaha too, man. This is gaining national attention on this, and we have been talking about it this whole time. Kimmer Snipes especially has been keeping us up to date on what was going on with that bill, and very passionate about it. We've seen her do lives where she was almost in tears about how it is that they're treating these kids and what they want to do. And I thought that it was so ridiculous that the fight was going to be fairly easy one where that just can't happen. But here we are, and it's advanced.
Man, and now we're at negotiations, which looks like it's not a good sign.
No. We'll talk about it Monday. Again, Senator Cypher happening on Monday. We got lots to ask the senators when they come on about this one. So get your questions ready for that. Take care of yourselves this weekend. It's going to be pretty rainy And like Brother Harrison said, I'd be wanting to stay in bed when the weather like this, for real. I'd be wanting to stay in bed anyway, I'll be honest. 90 degrees outside. Take a nap.
Man.
That's what it is.
Okay, cuz coming in with the endorsement. Vote John Ewing.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
Let's get active.
Appreciate that. We're talking about it. Kimmer, we got to have you on the show too to catch up with some of the things that's going on with you and the school board and everything that you're working on as well. Appreciate you. We'll talk soon. With that, I want to say shout out to Omaha Tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before you. And shout out to you, the chat chimers, allowing us to speak with you. Appreciate everybody's comments and questions and suggestions today. Had some great ones. If you missed any parts of the show, please go back and check it out on YouTube. Like and subscribe while you're over there. And if you want to support us, please go to firstskyOmaha.com and hit the join button and become a reoccurring member of the channel. Shout out to the $10 people, $25 people, and the $50 people that make this channel happen and our expansion happen as well. We got many things coming. Look out for Content Creators Camp. Look out for Chat Chimers Kickbacks. Look out for everything that's going on this summer and beyond. We're working this year to expand what it is that we're doing here, and it's all because of you and your help. So we really appreciate everybody who has been helping so far, and I'm asking others to join in too if you find any value in what it is that we're doing. We appreciate you, and we'll talk to you Monday. You guys take care of yourselels. Peace.
By the way, Vanglorious, this is protected by the red